Morning. Can you see what I'm doing today? I'm guessing you probably already knew by the title of the video anyway. I'm putting up the insulation, which is 33mm thick, so 3.3 centimeters. It's 0.7 meters wide, and it's 30 meters long. I don't know it in feet and inches, which is what I prefer. Don't like this European shit that we've lumbered with. But yeah, putting that up to date. I've just put a little bit down there above the wheel arch, starting to put some on that side. I was going to clean the van before I did a video today, but I thought, what's the point? If you're going to be doing this yourself, then your van will look like this most of the time, to be honest with you. A bit of a shithole. So I'm not going to bother cleaning it up. I'll clean up tonight after I finish work. I'll probably take it to the tip and get rid of it all. But I'll show you how I'm doing this anyway. It's the first time I've done it, so trial and error. I'll probably make mistakes. I'll let you know what I find best. I'm running out of high temperature adhesive. I'm thinking of going buying some normal spray glue, simply because I already have a bit of insulation on the walls, so it shouldn't get too hot anyway. Plus I've got the soundproofing behind that. The sun is on this wall at the moment, and it's not cold, but it's not hot. This bit up here, there's no soundproofing behind here, and that's a lot warmer actually than that bit there. Is warmer than that bit there, which has got the soundproofing underneath it. So I didn't think it actually do much in the way of insulation with the soundproofing, but obviously it has. See how I get on with that. Hopefully it won't melt the glue. I don't think it will. I'm not putting it on any exposed metal, which is that's quite warm to the touch. That's warm as well. So I'm not doing the roof today anyway. Yeah, it's very warm that actually, and that's a lot cooler. So that bubble wrap stuff does actually do something. I'm quite surprised with that actually. I thought it'd be shit. Oh, well, you live and learn. So I'll get back to you in a second. I'll cut some out for this panel here, and I'll show you me sticking it up. That sounded a bit dirty, didn't it? I'll show you me sticking it on. There we go, better. Okay, so I've made my first mistake already. What I've done, or not done, is I was going to put a batten, same as that, on this side here to go across. Now this is just to support the ply lining that's going to go over it, and I've not done it. I didn't put it on, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I can't peel it off. I've just tried to have a look to see what it's like when you peel it off, and oh, I can peel it off, but very slowly. No, it's sticky. It's pulling it off. It's leaving it on there. So I'll leave that for now, and I'll come back to that. What I've done when I've done this in the same process as the last video. Basically, put it into place, pull it back, spray the glue, and then put it back on. But what I've done different this time is I've pushed it into the corner, held it tight. When I've pulled back the other side, as I'm laying it, I've got one hand here keeping this firm, and I'm stretching it and pulling it, and then I'm just pushing it down. So then it naturally wants to pull back a bit. Just making sure everything is proper stuck. Well, that's the first one. First mistake as well. I'm sure I'll do some more. yeah, so for that panel there, I'll either just go up to there and leave a gap, and then go from there up there to leave a space for a piece of wood. Which I don't really have the timber at the moment. Actually, I might have a bit. I might be able to do some of that today. So I'm just going to leave the large bits for now. Just do the smaller bits, and in the places that quite hard to reach. So I'll show you the finished results, or I'll probably put the video back on if I find something else out and let you know. So stand by. Notice something. This side is relatively flat and not very fluffy, for the want of a better word. This side is, and that's the side I've just glued down. So on the next one I'm going to put this side facing the wall and this side facing inwards, and see if that makes any difference as to making it securer to the wall. Right, what I need to do here, I need to cut this piece up to here where I've marked it. Now I was just going to mark this side, mark that side, and then cut along it. Simpler solution is fold it in half. You fold it in half, then when you're cutting down, you've only got half the length to cut, and it should be a lot cleaner. So I'll show you the results if it works. Good idea in theory, not very good in practice. I've got halfway. It's really difficult to cut. These scissors might be just shit though. I've got halfway and it doesn't seem to want to cut anymore. So I'm just going to cut that end and then come backwards and see if that helps. Okay, got that cut eventually. I don't think it was any quicker or faster than doing it any other way. So I've got this cut. Now this inner skin is supported on the outer skin by these little, I don't know what they are, little supports. One there and one there. It's hollow underneath, there's nothing underneath it. So I'm just going to cut a notch out here because it goes down about, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So I'm going to cut a little square out there to accommodate for that. And then I've already measured it, so hopefully it should be right up against the bottom of this one. And then I'm just going to squeeze it along till I get them all done. So I'll show you the results in a moment. Now I know this is going to be difficult with 2 hands, and I'm attempting it with 1 hand to show you guys how I'm going to try to do it. Might work, it might not. So I'm just going to fold it in half and start from here, the middle one, push it through. Now bearing in mind there is plastic lugs in there which might get caught on it, so I've got to be careful not to rip the fabric. So I'll just fold it over. There you go, it's caught on one. You can hear it pulling the fabric. Just be careful with it. Right, that's in, and it's folded over, so I've got to now line up the slits which are on the bottom and try and unfold it at the same time, which might be quite difficult with 1 hand, so I'm going to come back to you in a minute. Okay, so it's quite easy that actually with 2 hands. So I've cut, obviously I slit these before I put it in. I'm just going to make sure it's touching the floor in the inside, and it is. Now there's still a little bit here which is folded over, so I'll just no, I won't snip that. I was going to snip it and just so it's level. I'll just leave that bit, and the next bit I'll just shove straight in over the top, a little bit of overlap, it won't do no harm. I'll just I don't know what I'll do with them. I'll just I'll leave it. I'll just kind of fold it out of the way for now, but I'm not going to cut it off. I'll just leave it on. It'll get covered anyway. What I could do actually, I could just cut it off and put it underneath where there is no insulation. But that is literally just below floor level. So I'll do it. I'll do that. I'll just cut it off and then slide it underneath. May as well. There's nothing else to do today. I've got the day off work. There. I'm quite happy with that. It's taken me longer than you would expect, but it's the first time I've done this, and I want to do it properly. So all nice and neat. None of it's really kinked up. I've actually got, I'd say I've got room for another layer of this stuff. If I've got any spare, or I might buy more, I'll probably put a bit more on, double the thickness. I think doubling the thickness won't take anything away from it. Putting too much on may make it worse. You know, so we'll just see what happens with that. If I've got much left, it wasn't that expensive really. It was £44, so I don't know. I'm guessing that's around about $90, $80. I really don't know right now, but it's not that expensive. It's called Dracon Poly something or other. I don't even know what the rating is for it, but 2 layers of that should be okay. Okay, so I've done the low bit there. I'll just put a bit at the top. A little bit of a tip for you. Obviously the whole purpose of insulation is to stop heat from escaping. Now a lot of the ways you do it is like, say for instance when you're wearing clothes you wear different layers. So between those layers is air that's trapped, which is what's keeping you warm. So you don't want this to be too squashed up. So you just want it, if you find it that it's all squashed up in one place, you need to like let it loose a little bit. Otherwise, it's I don't think it'll be as good as it can be. So don't pack it too tight. Just let it have its own space. Let it expand to what it wants to. Don't constrict it. Obviously down here, I have squashed it down, but it's only between 2 internal bits anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's keeping the rest of it nice and snug. So I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. Okay, I've just put this cover back over temporarily. Actually, I might leave it just down permanently. No, actually, I can't leave it down permanently. I've got to put a waterproof vapor barrier on the back of this, which I'll probably do today, and then that can be fixed permanently. And then I can put on whatever I decide to go over the top of that, which will go straight across that. See, this lip here will fit into this groove, so that metal there and that will be flush. There'll be no raised lip. So what that means is when I go to put whatever board I put across here, it will be completely flat. Obviously you won't see this. I'm going to put some expanding foam down there. If we can get some closed cell expanding foam, I'm just going to pour it in at the top and let it fill up. That's the only thing you can do for the small gaps, and also down here as well. Fill it in there, I'll fill it in there through these little holes. As you can see, I fitted some in there. Don't try to put the whole length across. Put it halfway, push it through, get the other side and push it through the other side, and that way it doesn't all scrunch up here or here. Right, finally done it, except the ceiling. I've done all the panels on this side. I've done that door and then put that plastic panel back on. It's got to come back off again. That I've not glued anything down there. I'll probably have to work on that door. Done all that side. I've done all across the top, down all the little edges. I think I've got enough to do those 2 back doors, or the lower parts of those 2 back doors. But I'm not going to do it today. I really can't be bothered. My fingers are hurting from the scissors. Yes, I am a wimp. So, all in all, I'm quite pleased with the results. Just got to get the next layer on, which is the moisture barrier, and then I can put this ply on, and then I should have a clean canvas to start from. So, it's taken I'd say about 4 or 5 hours to do it all. Worth it. One job done off the list.